What's up guys, Dimeo's back with a brand new commentary, and this time it's sort of a tutorial, tips and tricks video, how to snipe in Black Ops 3. Now I have not seen any sort of tutorials or tips and tricks on how to, be effective with a sniper, so I decided, hey, I'm gonna be one of the first, hopefully, on, tips and tricks, sort of how could you improve, since sniping has taken a huge nerf to this game. Sniping has way less aim assist than it did in previous CODs, like I'm talking way. When you're trying to quickscope, you will be able to feel this. Shots are not going to hit unless you get really lucky and your shot is somehow really on, but quickscoping is very weak in this game. It is still doable. As you can see in the gameplay, you will see that sometimes I quickscope, sometimes I sort of take my time, but that's sort of how you're supposed to play with a sniper anyway. But anyway, let's get into the tips and tricks. Number one rule I recommend to you guys is if you're starting off, take your time. Do not go in games and set your standards too high and think, oh yeah, I'm just gonna go around, I'm gonna rush like I do in Black Ops 2 or in any other Call of Duty where sniping's a bit easier. I'm just gonna quickscope anybody I see. No, this game is much more difficult when it comes to sniping, so I would recommend, if you are going sniping, just take your time with it. When I first started off, I didn't really like the sniping in this game. I was like, damn, the sniping is horrible. Until I sort of changed my playstyle up a little bit. So I took my time, started aiming down sights, not around corners, but as soon as I come around the corner, I'll get on a head glitch and just hold down my sights for like a couple seconds. I'd say about 5 to 10 seconds. Just wait for someone to come. As soon as I pop one person, I move to another location. You're sort of supposed to play like a more traditional sniper in this. I would say it's more comparable to Battlefield. It's still easier to Battlefield, obviously, because Battlefield is a more realistic game when it comes to sniping, bullet drop, travel time, stuff like that. But it is still doable in this game. It's just much more difficult. I would have to say it is the most difficult Call of Duty to snipe on, but we'll have to see. Maybe people will get used to it and then we'll be quickscoping like we do in Black Ops 2. It happens with every single Call of Duty. We struggle to snipe at first, but then we get used to it. So, take it easy. Snipe a little bit slower than you do, and then when you become more confident, take the risks, go for a couple quickscopes, but obviously don't stop the whole, traditional sniping way. When I'm playing Black Ops 3 these days, I still go for sniper shots like I do normally in this game. Like, I take my time, but if I notice that, maybe I could take a little bit of risk and challenge myself, I'll try and go for a quickscope, and sometimes they do hit. I'm not saying like it's Black Ops 1 pre-patch, because Black Ops 1 pre-patch completely ruined quickscoping. It was impossible to quickscope. It basically turned your quickscope into a no-scope. But in this game, bullets do go straight when you quickscope. It's just that the aim assist, since it's been reduced so much, it makes it very hard to actually time your shot when you're quickscoping, if that makes any sense. Tip number 2. I would recommend you play Team Deathmatch, because Team Deathmatch has very noobish sort of players. I know that the lobbies are still pretty difficult considering it's a beta, and veterans of the series are the people who are actually going to be searching for the beta. But if you want to get started, I recommend TDM. Team Deathmatch, a little bit easier players. There's no real objective that you have to follow by. In the gameplay, I'm playing Domination, but that's just because I'm a little bit more, practice with a sniper and sort of understand the spawns a little bit well. This tutorial is more to do with sniping and less about clips, but I will be talking a little bit about how to hit clips. I haven't hit one personally myself, but I will hopefully get one pretty soon. But this is more to do with sniping. Tip number 3. I highly recommend you actually use a secondary in this game. Now in Black Ops 2, at first you could use a secondary, and then you sort of got used to it and you didn't really need one. You could just pick up as an assault rifle off the ground and just sort of use it. In this game, I actually highly recommend at all times you have a pistol with you. Not an assault rifle or a secondary, not a weapon that you picked up. I recommend a pistol because you pull them out really quick. If you miss a shot, the chances are you will not be able to land that quick scope on the guy if he comes around the corner. I'd recommend you pull out your pistol and you pistol whip the shit out of him. I normally don't actually condone pistol whipping because it really pissed me off in other games, but in this game I can understand if someone does it. If someone pistol whips in this game, it's sort of more understandable because the sniping is more difficult and it is not easy to quickscope. As you'll see in the gameplay, and sometimes I have to pull out my pistol. There's no way I can actually just land a shot on some people, since the sniping has been made much more difficult. If you feel confident not pulling a pistol out, I guess that's up to you, but I highly recommend you use a pistol. That 3-round burst pistol, I don't know what it's called, I'd recommend that because it's like the B2 it's very, very powerful. Tip number 4. Choose the gunfights that you're actually going to go against. I would not recommend you just hop into any gunfight or just rush at people. That is something you don't want to do. You don't want to rush with a sniper. Now this sort of links back to my tip number 1, which I'm gonna try and not say again, but don't rush at people and don't choose stupid gunfights. If someone has a man of war at medium to long range and you're gonna miss a shot and you're just gonna decide, hey, I'm gonna turn that corner aiming down sights and I'm probably gonna have the advantage. If you're already damaged and he knows you're gonna come around that corner, I would not recommend, even though you have your sights pulled on him, I wouldn't recommend you go around that corner, because the flinch in this game, there is no toughness in this game. If someone shoots you, you are going to flinch, and there is no way you are going to kill him unless you somehow get a lucky headshot from the flinch. Chances of that happening are pretty low. You need to get the first shot on him. If you do not get the shot and you think you can challenge him when realistically the odds are in his favor, I would recommend you ditch that gunfight and you go search for another place to aim down sight and pick off more people. But I would not recommend choosing stupid gunfights. Don't try and quickscope people across the map, because that is a horrible idea. And tip number 5, this is personally the most important tip, and it has absolutely nothing to do with gameplay, but more of what type of player you are and the way you control yourself in the game. The ultimate tip, in my opinion, to play well, and this goes for any sort of game style, sniping, whatever, do not rage. If you rage, this has come from experience for me. If I get annoyed at the game and I start complaining and I start screaming, the game gets more frustrating as it goes. It's sort of like a snowball effect. The more you rage, the worse you do at the game, and then when you do bad, you rage more, and it's a constant cycle. If you catch yourself sort of getting annoyed, and I'm not gonna say don't rage 100% of the time, because that's very hard to do. I can understand, sometimes you're just having a bad day and you feel like absolutely smashing your controller. I can understand. The way I sort of fix that, if I'm getting really annoyed, is I get off the game. That's as simple as that. What I used to do, and I still do it to this day, if I get really annoyed to the point of where I know it's not going to improve, I get off the game for a while, maybe 1 or 2 hours. After that, I come back on, and since I'm sort of like refreshed and I don't feel as pissed off, this time when I play, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna focus on the game, not actually going to get mad, because trust me, when you don't rage, the game is so much more enjoyable. You play better, because when you're raging, you're focusing on screaming, you're focusing on all the negatives, but if you're not, you're focused, you're not focusing on anything else besides the game. So I would recommend ignoring deaths. Don't, even if it's the most bullshit death ever, a guy noob tubes you across the map when you're like 1 off your streak, just take a deep breath and sort of just ignore it. Will that game matter in, I don't know, a couple minutes after it's over? Probably not. If it's a very serious case, it might, piss you off for the rest of the day, but most likely tomorrow you're not even gonna remember that game. So, getting annoyed there's no reason for it. I can understand that sometimes we do have our bad games. That's my best tip I can give you. Just do not get annoyed, because if you do get annoyed, you're gonna have a bad time. So, thanks for watching. I highly do appreciate it. Now, let me just say I am not the best sniper in Call of Duty history. I am definitely not even close to the best sniper. This was just my sort of tutorial on how to, be more effective with a sniper, because it is much more difficult in this game than it has been in any other Call of Duties. I'm just simply giving you guys some tips and tricks because I haven't seen any on YouTube, so this might help you guys a little bit. I'm also going to show you my class setup on screen. I highly recommend rapid fire because it increases recocking speed of your gun. It really, really improves the speed. If you want to eventually get used to sniping and you want to go for clips, I recommend rapid fire because it is so much faster. Without it, it's like the after patch DSR. So anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you get good at sniping, and I hope you actually enjoy yourself on Black Ops 3. Thank you very much for watching. Peace.